Hello friends, how are you? I hope you all are doing superbly great. So let's continue with our discussion on the new chapter that we started in the last lecture, that is joint and byproduct costing. Right? So we started with the byproduct and I told you that these are two basically separate things that we are going to study, byproduct and the joint product. They are quite similar but with a slight variation. Okay, and this is what I told you about the byproduct. That what is a byproduct? It is an ancillary product manufactured along with the main product. The value of this product is very less as compared to the main product, right? And always remember the split off point, because in the questions we'll be using this, that the cost up to the split off point is this. Now the cost, whatever cost is incurred here, is known as joint cost. Do not confuse between joint product and joint cost. Joint cost is the cost which is incurred up to the split off point, right? This is cost incurred up to split off point, right? So a byproduct is an ancillary product produced in addition to the main product. So I gave you the various examples also, right? And this is what we discussed about the further processing cost. I told you that what is a further processing cost, how it is to be treated, right? And how to attribute the joint cost between the main product and the byproduct, because these are two separate products. When we will go to the market, we will sell this product separately, right? So if you want to sell this product separately, that means you will have to set the selling price separately. If you want to set the selling price separately, you will need to find the cost separately, but it is a joint cost 1 lakh rupees. So this is what we have to study in this chapter, that how this joint cost of 1 lakh rupees is to be distributed between the main product and the byproduct. Okay. So this chapter is all about this only, that how to distribute this cost. So we have discussed the basics of byproduct, everything. The treatment of byproducts we have done by the various methods, right? By net realizable value. Then we discussed about the credit and taken to costing profit and loss account, and the reverse cost method I told you that I'll discuss at the end of this chapter, because it is in combination of the joint product. I'll discuss that, don't worry about it, okay? So now in this lecture what we are going to do is we are going to solve a practical problem on this joint and byproduct, right? So before we start, guys, the ICI SM series in English is now available on our mobile app, right? A live batch is going on. All those who have already joined, it's good, they are watching it live, and whenever you are watching this lecture, the live batch is already on the way. If you want to join midway also, you can join and you will get the recorded backup of the previous classes, right? So you can join, sir, no issues in that, right? 1 second, guys. So you can join if you want to, the ICI complete ICI SM series, and it is updated as per the May 2022 module, right? We are updating it as per May 2022 module. So it is an updated version, totally updated version. So nothing to worry about it, right? Okay. And we always keep on updating it, even if you are watching this lecture after May 22 attempt, right? So at that time we'll provide the next updated version of the ICI SM series on the app in English as well as in Hindi. Now what we are going to do in this lecture is solve a practical problem on the byproduct. After that the byproduct will be over, right? Let's open this question number 1 on byproduct. Product Zenu is made by 3 sequential processes, process 1, 2 and 3. In process 3, a byproduct arises, right? So if you want to make a particular product, right, a Zenu, it has to go through 3 processes, 1, 2 and 3. In process 3, there is a byproduct also which is there along with the main product, that is Zenu. And after further processing in the process XY at a cost of rupees 2 per unit. Now they say whatever is the byproduct that arises, we are further processing it in the next process. That process is XY, and the further processing cost is 2 rupees. So that is, this 2 is your further processing cost, right? This is your further processing cost, okay? After further processing, what you get is the byproduct XYZ is produced. Selling and distribution expenses of rupee 1 are incurred in marketing XYZ. at a selling price of 9 per unit. So basically what they're doing is, just listen to it very carefully. Here is the input, right? It is going through three processes, basically process 1, 2 and 3, right? After that, what you get is two products. One is the final product, that is Zenu, and the other one is the byproduct, right? Here you will get the byproduct. Okay, you further process it in the process XY and you get the product XYZ after further processing. Now on this product XYZ, you will incur the selling and distribution expenses. Right, on this product XYZ, you are incurring the selling and distribution expenses of rupee 1 per unit, and the selling price is 9 per unit. Now it says the standards provided for process 1 to 3. Normal loss in the process of input is 10%, 5% and 10%, and the loss in the process having the scrap value per unit. The scrap value is given, right? 1, 3 and 5. For the month of April, the following data are given: the process 1, 2 and 3 and the process XY, right? The process XY output in the units 8800, 8400 and 7000 units of Zenu, that is the finished product, and 420 of XYZ, that is the finished byproduct. Okay. Now what is the cost incurred? Direct material introduced 10,000 units, and this is the cost in the process 1. Direct materials added, right? 6,000, some more material added. Direct wages 5,000, direct expenses 4,000. Now this added is, it might be from the previous period. Okay, this is actually the material which has been introduced, and this was already there, which has been added in this process. Direct expenses are there. The budgeted production overhead for the month was 84,000. This absorption is based on the percentage of direct wages, right? So that means these production overheads of 84,000 are to be distributed between process 1, process 2 and process 3 in the ratio of direct wages, right? There are no stocks at the beginning or at the end of the month. Prepare the accounts for each process 1, 2 and 3 and the process XY, right? So basically you have to prepare process 1, process 2, process 3 and process XY. That is all what you have to prepare in this question. Right? So let's start with preparing the process accounts. Okay, sir, let's start. So we'll start with the first one, that is process 1 account. Particulars, units, rate and amount. Then we have particulars, units, rate and amount. See, the basic formats are important, right? So let's start with the first one. First we have in the process 1 account, what we have is 2 material introduced, right? How many units? So 10,000 units. What is the rate? What is the total amount? Total amount is 20,000. So the rate is 2, right? Then we have 2 direct material, that is 6,000. Then we have 2 direct wages, that is 5,000. 2 direct expenses, that is 4,000. Then factory overheads. Now be careful with factory overheads. I'm directly going to write the amount 20,000, right? How this 20,000? It is not directly given in the question, but it is given that factory overheads of 84,000, these are to be distributed on the basis of direct wages, right? So you can distribute it in the ratio of direct wages. Okay. So after distribution, it comes out to be 20,000, right? Then you have a normal loss, sir. Yes, we have a normal loss here. What is the percentage of normal loss given to you? Normal loss is given as 10% of the input, that is 1,000 rupees. And what is the output? Output is 8,800. So 1,000 is the normal loss, and there is a scrap value of 1 rupee. So 1,000. And by next process, or what we call it as process 2 account, 8,800 units, right? So we introduced 10,000 units, but in the output here we have 9,800 units as of now. Sir, where are the remaining 200 units? Where are the remaining 200 units, sir? The remaining 200 units is your abnormal loss by abnormal loss, that is 200 units, right? So this total cost is 55,000. So now how to calculate the rate? Sir, we will calculate the cost per unit. Cost per unit of normal output. Total cost 55,000 minus scrap value 1,000 divided by units 10,000 minus normal loss units, that is 1,000, right? So this comes to 54,000 divided by 9,000. This comes to 6 rupees, right? So I'll write 6 here, I'll write 6 here. So this comes to 1,200 and 52,800, right? So the total is 55,000. A simple process 1 account, as we have already discussed, right? So this is a very simple process account, sir. Anything new in this? Nothing new, sir. Whatever we have already discussed, it is same like that only, right? Whatever we have discussed, it is same like that only. Now let's come to process number 2 account. Process 2. Particulars, units, rate, amount. Units, rate and amount. Okay, let's go. So in this, the first thing that you have to take is the transfer from the first process to process 1 account. To process 1, 800 units, right, at the rate of 6, that is 52,800, right? Then to direct material, how much? 12,640. Then you have direct labor or wages 6,000, right? Then direct expenses, that is 6,200. Yes, sir. Then the apportionment of the factory overheads to factory overheads, 24,000 apportioned in the direct wages percentage. Then you have a normal loss by normal loss. Normal loss is given as how much? 5%. Right? So 5% is 440 units. 3 rupees is the scrap value, 1320. And the output to the next process, to process 3 account. To process 3 account. What is the number of units is 8,400. Now see, the input was 8,800 units. The output is on this side is 8,840. Sir, the 40 extra units is what? The 40 extra units is your abnormal gain. To abnormal gain. Right? 40 units. Now you want to calculate the value. Okay. Cost per unit of normal output. Cost per unit of normal output. So this comes to whatever is the cost up till this point, right? It comes as 1,01,640 minus the scrap value 1320 divided by 8800 units minus 440 units, that comes to rupees 12 per unit. Okay, so that means here we'll have 12 and here also we are going to have the 12 rupees. So 480, and here we are going to have 1,08,000. Sorry. Right, sir? Simple again. So this is the total value that we have. Okay. So, simple process 2 account. Now let's come to the process 3 account. Now in this account we are going to have our what? We are going to have the byproduct, sir. Isn't it? We are going to have the byproduct. Now let's start with process 3 account. Process 3 account. Again, particulars, units, rate, amount, units, rate and amount, right? See, in the process costing, I will say these the basic format is necessary, right? You can skip the rate column or whatever you want, but do not skip it. This is the basic format that we all must follow, especially in case of process costing. Okay, so let's start with the first is to process 2 account. To process 2 account, how many units? 8400 units at the rate of 12 rupees. So this is 1,00800, right? Then we have to direct material, that is 23,200, I guess. Let's see once. Yes, sir, 23,200. Then we have to direct wages, that is 10,000. Then we have to direct expenses, that is 4080. Then we have factory overheads, that is 40,000, apportioned basically, right? And normal loss is there. How many units? 840 units. 5 rupees is the scrap value, so 4200 you will get, right? 5 rupees is the scrap value, and the output is 7000 units of Zenu and 420 units of XYZ, right? That is a byproduct. So here we'll write by process XY, that is your byproduct that is to be processed in the next one, 420. Then we have by finished goods, that is a finished good product Zenu, that is 7000 units. Clear? Sir, if you do the total, there is still 140 units that are left. The total here 8400 we are taking, but here it is 140 units less. So those 140 units is what? Your abnormal loss. Abnormal loss 140 units. Now the main important question is, sir, how to value this byproduct of 420 units? How to value this? See, I told you that one thing we can do is net realizable value we can calculate. The another thing is we can credit only the units in the process account, and whatever is the value, that is the NRV only, we credit it to the costing profit and loss account. So in this question, what the question is silent, the question doesn't say anything how to do it. So we say that we have to do it by the net realizable value method, right? Now read the question very carefully. Now read the question carefully. How to calculate the net realizable value? First, let's see here. It is the estimated selling price minus further processing cost minus selling and distribution overheads. Now look at the question. Can you tell me, in the question, can you tell me what is the expected selling price of that byproduct? What is the expected selling price? What is the expected selling price, sir? Please read the question carefully and tell me what is the expected selling price. Okay, I'll write here I want you people to tell me expected selling price from the question. In the very first paragraph it is given, sir, 9 rupees is the expected selling price. Okay, minus further processing cost. What is the further processing cost for this byproduct? 2 rupees is the further processing cost. I will subtract it, sir. Minus selling and distribution expenses, right? That is 1 rupee. Selling and distribution expenses of 1 rupee, right? So from here I will get 6 rupees. This is my net realizable value of this product. Clear? So this is the NRV, and at NRV I am going to record this product in the books, that is 6 rupees. 2520. Now for abnormal loss and for the finished goods, what we have to do? Calculate cost per unit of normal output. So the cost per unit of normal output. So total cost here, right, 178080. So I'll take 178080 minus the scrap value, that is 4200, minus the byproduct value, that is 2520. Obviously, sir, if we want to find this value, you will subtract this. This value is already there with us, right? This is not a normal output. This byproduct is a separate output. So what we want is normal output. So I will subtract it. Divided by 8400 units minus loss of 840 minus 420 byproduct. So this comes to rupees 24, right? So here I'll take 24 and 24. 3360 and 1,68,000. Do check the calculations once, okay? Right? So this is how you have to prepare, this is how you have to calculate the NRV, okay? Net realizable value of 6 rupees. That is the expected selling price minus the further processing cost minus selling and distribution expenses. That will give you the NRV, and the byproduct is to be taken at the NRV. And while calculating the cost per unit of normal output, we have to subtract the normal loss also, and we have to subtract the process XY also. Clear? Any doubts? Now, what we have to do is prepare the process XY account. Now the next one is prepare the process XY account. Now this is going to be very simple, sir. Particulars, units, rate, amount. Particulars, units, rate and amount. Right? So the first thing that you are going to have is in the process XY, from where you will get this XY to process 3 account. How many units? 420 units at 6 rupees, then 2520. Right? Now you will incur some further processing cost in it to FPC, further processing cost, right, on 420 units at the rate of 2, 840, right? After further processing, what you will get is byproduct XYZ, that is 420, 8 rupees is going to be the price, and 3360. Sir, what about the selling and distribution expenses, sir? Listen to it very carefully. Selling and distribution expenses are incurred after the byproduct has been received, right? So that means selling and distribution expenses are not being incurred in the process XY. In the process XY, what we are doing is we are only doing the further processing of the product so that we get the byproduct XYZ, right? Whatever is the selling and distribution expenses that we are incurring. Now, after this, if you are asked to prepare product XYZ account. Now it is not a process account, it is a product account, right? It is basically a product account. So you will write to process XY, right? 420 units at the rate of rupees 8, 3360, and you will incur to selling and distribution expenses 420 units at the rate of rupee 1, 420, right? And by sales, here you will have sales at the rate of rupees 9, 8 rupees total cost plus 1 rupee selling and distribution expenses, 9 rupees, right? So do not commit a mistake of taking the selling and distribution expenses here. Sir, we are not incurring the expenses in the process account. In that particular process XY, what we are doing is we are only doing the further processing of that particular product, right? We are not incurring the selling and distribution expenses. Selling and distribution expenses we are incurring after it is completed, right? Here it can be product XY account or it can be costing costing P&L account also. We can take it as costing P&L account also. That is not required in the question, but anyhow. So the important point in this question was this treatment, that how to compute this 6 rupees. Then this, while calculating the cost per unit of normal output, you have to subtract the value of the byproduct also, right? And the units of the byproduct also, 420. Clear? I hope it is clear. A very simple question of byproduct, nothing extraordinary in this, but yes, a few points that you need to remember. So with this we are done with the byproduct. Now in the next lecture what we are going to discuss about is we are going to discuss about this joint product, right? Very important, we have the various methods. In the joint product we have various methods, very easy methods, nothing to worry about it, right? Very easy methods. Only 1 or 2 methods are a little bit tricky, I can say, right? Especially the reverse cost method, that is the only method that is little bit tricky. Otherwise all the methods are very easy, right? So in the next lecture we are going to start with joint product. Okay, so see you guys in the next lecture. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy, keep studying, keep sharing. Thank you so much.